pleasure of being here with Brent Tignor, who is a face I haven't seen for a long time, CHRO of Balchem Corporation in New York. Thanks for joining, Brent.
It's great to be here with you, Matt, and it's good to see your face as well. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you look no different, actually, which is good to see. You're weathering the storms quite well. What has it been like being a CHRO this year?
It has been the longest 6 months I can ever recall, but at the same time, it's been very gratifying to be in a time which is something none of us have ever experienced before and has required more of us in the HR community than has ever been required before. So you've kind of got those dueling feelings about this time we've been going through, but I've been able to withstand it personally from a health perspective. So that's it's an incredible blessing to have made it through this. Myself, my family, doing well, and our company is doing well. But it has been a lot of work to get to this point, for sure.
It's really interesting what you say about making sure that you're healthy, and we often hear the whole put the oxygen mask on yourself before you treat others. But I've very much found the same thing as a leader as well. But obviously the challenge is we've had to look after ourselves and our families at the same time as having very responsible roles like yours. So I guess what I'm curious to know is how has the role of a CHRO transformed through this year as opposed to how you saw it prior to us going into this period?
Yeah, so I think that your role in helping to protect employees has always been there. I think what has changed is more than ever before, you really have to be able to balance a situation where there's no such thing as zero risk. Especially as a company that has to continue operating as an essential business. We're a health and nutrition ingredient company, and so we truly make essential ingredients that go into various immune system fortification products, food products to feed the world. And so you're working through this complex decision process of balancing the health and well-being of employees with the reality that for us to continue to move forward as a company and to operate, to have jobs for everyone, and as a company that has continued to be able to produce through this entire pandemic, those are difficult decisions to make because whatever you decide, you're going to have some risk as a part of that. And I think that that's a complex part of this that, while we've had to deal with that in certain ways, in human resources, never in this way. And so I think that in partnership with our CEO and our other executives, trying to make those decisions as thoughtfully as possible, but also keeping the big picture in mind of our role. And in Balchem, we say we help make the world a healthier place. And also trying to keep everyone employed has been a real challenge, but is something that I think we feel like has been a very rewarding experience to work through together.
Now, before we started recording, you used the term thrive, which actually is ironic because it's obviously the Thrive HR exchange concept we're talking on, but the Balchem has been really thriving through this period. And pardon the food pun, but what have been the ingredients around that feeling that's kind of manifesting itself now?
Right. So in terms of thriving, there have been times where it didn't feel like that's what we were doing. But in terms of being able to continue to progress as a company, to continue to operate, we haven't had to furlough, lay off any employees through this, which we feel incredibly fortunate to be in that position. It's been, I think, first and foremost about communication. In the early days, all of us were trying to gather as much information about what is COVID, what is the risk that's really associated with this? What do we do about it? And I think that we were certainly still trying to figure that out along with everyone else, but we had the ability to access information perhaps more easily than the average employee might be able to. And so we first and foremost made an effort to educate our employees about the facts of what we knew and what we didn't know about COVID and about the protection measures that were necessary. And so that was first and foremost our effort around communication. And then it was about what are we doing as a company as a part of this. So when we started having our office employees work from home, in terms of communicating what we expected to happen, how long we expected it to be for, which turned out to be woefully short in terms of what we originally thought was going to be the length of time we were dealing with this. So all of those factors, we took a lot of time to communicate more so than we ever have before to keep people informed. And I think that was a key ingredient, number one. And then number two, I think, is about the purpose that we have as a company. I mentioned before, we have a mission statement of making the world a healthier place through the products that we produce and the way that we do it. And I think that while humans are a naturally resilient group, and we've had to be, over the thousands of years, but I think that we don't do it alone. We do it through a community, and we do it through our ability to find purpose. And so we focused on how do we communicate that purpose to our employees, not in a superficial, fake kind of way, but the genuine purpose that we have as a company, the role that we play, and how the role that everyone plays as a part of that helps to make that happen. And so we all have a purpose as part of this. And I think that it's that purpose that really drives resiliency, especially in a community. And so that's what we tried to focus on, is around communication in general, but then focusing on our purpose, our bigger purpose as a company, and what we all do collectively as individuals to support that purpose.
Do you think we're seeing the true synthesis now of the work-life sort of blending around, job being more than a job, a company's responsibility being more than just a person turning up to the office? And I guess, you have an amazing talent background as well and an interest in this area. But do you think this potentially could lead to enhanced retention in companies as we focus on this more?
Yeah, I think first of all, I think in terms of the long-term talent retention impact, how companies have handled this situation will go a long way towards the reputation they have with the employees that have been working with that company. And so taking time to care for the physical and mental well-being of employees, I think, has never been more important. So I think we've, have leveraged the resources we already had and also engaging additional resources, particularly around mental health, and being open about this is always a significant consideration, but never has it been more important than what we've all been going through for the last few months. And so I think, we've taken the approach that, look, how we handle this and the care that we show for our employees' total well-being is going to have an impact on what they say to other prospective employees when they talk about what kind of company is Balchem to work for. That we want them to be able to say honestly that it's a company that cares for their employees, that understands the challenges that are presented, particularly in a pandemic situation, and takes steps to ensure that the total employee is taken care of. And so I think that we've taken some additional steps to ensure that's the case, because you can't build a strong talent bench or foundation without demonstrating that. And this was a great opportunity to be able to do that.
Very good. Brent, thank you for your time. It's a bit short chat, but great to catch up with you.
Great to catch up with you as well, Matt, and hope we get the chance to speak again soon.